Give me a sec. I gotta scratch this.
You going sack there?
Yeah, it's deep.
Oof.
All right.
Gross. Take your time.
All right.
You good?
Yeah. Ready?
You arranged?
Yep.
Good.
It's time for a CZ P10C, dramatic pause, and TMP update review, bunker style. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tactical Doodle.
We're in the shades. So what's going on right now is TD is visiting. He's busy in his life, working on his career, doing all this cool stuff. He's here for a week, and we are cranking, working hard. We went out shooting 3 days operationally, did some indoor range work, and I'm cranking through some GRVs. We're doing it bunker style. I'm not going to say tabletops are dead. They're not. You're going to see me do more tabletops. I have a feeling, though, from you guys watching the bunker reviews, you probably don't want me to go back to tabletops with certain things. Watches, I got to do tabletops. Knives, probably tabletop is what we're going to do. Are you still scratching?
No, I'm just letting him look at the stuff behind me.
Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, it's fun. So
look at all the
it's
cool
fun
stuff.
for us, too. You might detect that, especially when TD's around. But even when he's not here, I'm going to be having fun. You know how it goes. The show goes on in TMP. What are you doing? Just showing them all that cool stuff? Oh, we swapped some really cool stuff back there. We got an MG34 back there, 1/6 scale. We've got a RoboCop. What's an
ED209?
ED209.
Zeta Plus.
Junkers.
Minigun.
JU88.
OICW 1/6 scale.
TIE bombers back there. And then you might see Boba Fett extracting himself from the Sarlacc pit.
Which is canon.
What you're seeing then in bunker is, yeah, we're going to be focused on the thing that we're talking about always, but also you're going to see the personality and actually our likes as a family. And it's all genuine, nothing's made up. It'll always be interesting, pretty much can guarantee. Thanks for joining us. Hit the notification bell here on YouTube. Still working for now. Join TMP Patreon. Stay with TMP Patreon if you so desire. If not, we still love you. Thanks for the support. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. He still has some hats. nutnfancybigcartel.com. He's the one that ships them out. Hi, little boy. He does all the work. Are we going to do new merch? Probably not anytime soon. I mean, if we bought merch and it literally cleared out within 2 months, you'd see a ton of merch. True or false?
Yeah.
Watch check. This is a Momentum Atlas 44, y'all. Atlas 44. So I sold the 38. I can't remember if I sold it or gave it away to a TMPer. I think I'm giving it away to a TMPer, or I did. And this is the Atlas 44. I was saying I wish they made it, and they did.
Boom.
I'm so happy. And what are you rocking? Oh, he's got a
Right
Hawker
now.
Harrier.
Hawker Harrier.
So this is one of those gorgeous AV8 watches. Links below. Buy 10 of them.
I got this one
They
on
are
Amazon.
outstanding. I still got my wrist brace on. Life goes on. We all have issues. All have issues.
What's your wrist sore from, Nutnfancy?
Back to the subject at hand. Here we go. In life, there are basically 3 enthusiasm levels. So this is, I got to do it so I'm in frame. So this is high enthusiasm. So you're like, yeah, that's so awesome. Medium enthusiasm level. Like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. It's not too bad. Low enthusiasm level. That sucks. Okay, I'm broad stroking 3. For the CZ P10C, for me, I would say I'm like high, but I'm above medium. I'm about here if I were to give it a, I don't know, almost 4. I really like the P10C so much, I'm giving it an update video right here. To add in a little bit extra information that I may have omitted in my August 2017 review, and we'll show you a different variety that we got right now. TD, where's your enthusiasm level on the P10? Low? I'm trying to get that flat. Low, medium, or high?
Probably on the lower end of medium.
I think you're right here, aren't you?
Yeah, I find it hard to get wood for the 1000th 9mm poly striker fired handgun.
Good point. Here we go. Time to show it to you. So we have a 2nd generation P10C. It's been in the project. We've been shooting it along with another one that we don't have in the bunker. So since 2017, I've shot 2 of them. I would say about 1,000, maybe 800 to 1,000 rounds between the 2 of them. So I've done some shooting. I've learned the type. and you're saying you're not super stoked on it.
That's not to say I don't like it. As a pistol, it is pretty good, to the point where I probably say I do love it to an extent. But
my enthusiasm is much higher. Again, I'm going to go almost to high on this. I really like the P10C. It does have some funky quirks, and I've learned more about it as I've shot it over the last couple years. Let's go back in history of when it was introduced, and let's talk about how it was not perfect when it came out.
What? Manufacturers releasing imperfect products?
That you would
depend on the shooting public to do your R&D for you?
So we get a lot of criticism, on Keltec, on SIG. Ruger's gotten flack for this. I don't hear too much about Smith & Wesson. They seem to be pretty squared away, unless I'm missing something. I could be. And now we see CZ having quality problems with a new design. What I've always said is I don't condemn an overall excellent design if it has teething problems. You need to look beyond it. You need to be mature. And this is going back to a good example, the SIG P365. That guys came out, reviewers here on YouTube came out, and they thrashed on it and said, this is crap. I think it's I don't know if they said it's a losing design, and I'm not going to say there weren't problems. There were, but they weren't looking long-term to know that the company, SIG in that situation, would fix the problems. And guess what? They fixed the problems. And the SIG P365 is one of the all-time best-selling, non-returning. We just asked several gun stores this week, didn't we?
Yep.
I said, how many 365s are coming back? They're like, none. How many do you sell? 20 a week? Big gun store. It's like 20 a week easy. And none are coming back. No. To the point is that you're going to have teething problems, and I think the CZ P10 had the same thing. Something I don't know if I represented accurately in my original review. This is another reason I'm doing this bunker update. So some of the teething problems it had is it had like an unsupported striker, and the striker was known to have a rotation problem and lock the slide up. So in Gen 2, they redesigned it, and you can see this little notch in the slide. I'm going to point it right at my face. Let me go right here. So you can see the notch in the back of the slide, I hope. And no, I'm not putting any additional video. There you go, right here. So in, not the back plate itself, but this notch right here. So that's a Gen 2 feature, I believe. So that's a newer striker, so they fixed that problem. The magazine catch, this is an older Gen 2, I think, so it has an ambi one. Nowadays they have a reversible one that is much better. We don't have that to show you on camera. So sad, so sad. So this is the older one, and I'll tell you, like I said in the first one, I don't like it. I think it's stiff to push because it's ambidextrous. It's bi-directional, so it has a strong spring in there. The good news is the new one is much better. It's flatter. It does away with these really sharp edges, and it's easier to push, I'm told. I haven't shot that one. And if I get a P10C, I actually might buy this one from the dude I'm loaning it from and just use it as a cast member. What I'm going to do is put an Apex Tactical mag release in it. Here we go with another $50.
Yep.
It's $45 to put that in. Isn't this just like guns? It's like you get a gun, you go, oh man, yeah, oh, it needs a I need to do this. But it's more cost effective for me if I own one to go ahead and fix it rather than sell it, lose money on that sale, and then just put an Apex in it. And there might be some others that I don't know about. Maybe we should just go out and get one that's already squared away.
Yeah, the design of the mag release just kind of confounds me to an extent because it's got so much spring tension in it. You could get away with like a big chunky Glock style release and it probably wouldn't have an issue. Well, but they contoured it like they want it to be lower profile to hopefully eliminate any chance of accidentally slipping it. And all it did was make it harder to actuate.
On this version, I would say all that plays, but again, on the newest version of the P10s. And also, we're concentrating on the C model, but the F, the full-size model, also has, I believe, the much improved magazine release. So it's more of a flat button. All these sharp edges are gone. Bye-bye. That's good. The slide release, shooting it, I think it does work. I kind of forget because we're shooting some other guns if I was using it or just slingshotting it. I wouldn't mind it being extended. This is a very sharp edge up here on this. They do make extended slide releases for it. Actually, the CZ Custom Shop has them. And what do you know? It's probably another $50. Before you know it, you've put $800 in your CZ P10C. And I'm sure there's some guys that do it. I mean, there's guys that will replace this trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Don't replace the trigger. The trigger on the CZ P10 is awesome.
Yeah, but it's not red.
Okay, I'm not going to criticize it if someone goes and gets a colored, I don't know, Apex, Tactical, or whatever CZ replacement trigger. For a second, cool. If it just makes you happy, I say rock on. But don't say anything's wrong with this trigger as it pulls, which I don't think I have my trigger scale handy, but just take it from me. This is a really nice trigger. There's a little bit of grittiness. There is a little bit of take up right here. So there's a little bit of rub going on right there. Crisp break. Check the reset. Really short reset. I showed that in 2017. Look at that reset, dudes. And I'll do it with my left hand so you can see it. My blown out pig gloves. Those pig gloves don't last worth a crap. You sneeze on them and the fingers blow out.
You get 3 months out of them, maybe.
Yeah, that sucks. Anyways, great trigger. I would not replace it. I get it why guys would. Okay, we're kind of going over features and maybe some updates and complaints actually on the original CZ P10C. Now, I never experienced this when we tested and reviewed the original one, which was a loaner from Schofield Project. What's up? He was actually a TM here who sent me his original gun. That's how I reviewed it. Thank you, dude. I hope you're still around. But I did not experience shooting plus P ammo with the magazine dropping. Guys were complaining about that, say it could happen. I didn't see it. So I can't validate that. And I think a lot of these problems, again, are still out on the internet. So guys who experienced it on the first CZ P10Cs, and then someone in 2019 finds them and go, oh, this gun sucks. That's kind of a disadvantage of the internet, is make sure your data is correct and make sure it's up to date, because things change and they get better. Sharp corners, I mentioned on the magazine release, on the slide release. I would still say that's a problem. We got a beveled slide. All this is the same. I love the serrations. Forward, I don't use, of course, the back serrations. We have reverse slide rails on the P10C, very low, reducing muzzle flip. It's fast recovery. The overall feel for me, to my enthusiasm level on the P10C, is outstanding. I love the stippling on the grip. It is so perfect.
It is excellent.
And I think they actually reduced a little bit. There may have been some complaints. So in Gen 2, they just got rid of the sharp points on it slightly. God, I loved it. In hand, it's perfect. It's got this typical CZ grip. There are interchangeable back straps, which are not needed. Insert rant. And then we have an extension on the back strap here, so it makes it kind of like a full-size pistol. Undercut molding on the trigger guard, bigger trigger guard, squared off just like a Glock. It takes down just like a Glock. So this is, think of the CZ P10, whether you go with an F or C, as a Glock. Speaking of which, here's a Gen 4 19, bro. It's the main competitor. And by the way, this is a distributor coated one, so we didn't coat this one, it came this way. So these are two competitors. And actually my original review, I entitled it, Is the Glock 19 Done For by the P10? Here, let me do a sound effect. What do you think? Well, I think I made a point. I'll do it here again. TD will back me up on this. This does not have the track record of a Glock. The 19 has decades and decades of military, law enforcement, civilian use. It's extremely proven. It's going to take a long time for the P10 to amass that record. So I'm being a little bit facetious in my title of, hey, is the Glock 19 dead? But a lot of guys were saying that.
Yeah.
They were saying, hey, why would I go buy a Glock 19? Knowing what I know now, and that is to say I know both guns very well at this point, having shot a lot. I've shot Glocks surely a lot more than I have the P10, but I have enough to have, I think, an honest opinion. I think they're neck and neck. I think it would boil down to you what your system is already. Do you have anything to say? Because I'm like shredding it.
No, I would compare it more to the RTF2 as far as stippling goes.
Good point.
It is probably the best factory stippling I've felt on any of the pistols on the market now.
That's what she said.
Even better than the VP9, which is a pretty cool little thing.
I love the VP9.
Ergonomically, it worked pretty well for me. The mag button I didn't love. The trigger guard is awesome. Stippling on the front there is perfect.
How'd you like that squared face, yo?
I love it.
This is a
the
Gen...
best. Isn't that 4?
No, I think it's third gen.
3.5.
Third gen G17 Vickers?
Yeah, that was the Vickers edition.
Really nice gun. With RTF. I love the RTF frame. I have no problems with it
at
all. Or the Gen 3. Gen 3s are awesome. How did you shoot that gun?
I was okay. I noticed when I was wearing gloves, it was constantly sticking, and I would always get my finger material caught in that little trigger area. I think there's just a little bit of a gap in the shoe when you bring it all the way back.
Okay.
Other than that, the slide release, I had a tendency to hit it inadvertently.
It's funny you mention that because I was shooting it and it failed to lock back on me a lot. And I don't know if, and this is a gun that doesn't have too many rounds with it. Of course, we're shooting the magazines that came with the gun. And I don't think I was riding the slide release, but it just didn't do last shot hold open. Before you go ballistic on that, there's a lot of guns that I test that way. I think the FN 509 was that way. I think the Beretta APX was that way. A lot of guns have that problem. I don't know if it's my grip. You can study the video if you want, but it did happen. I'm shooting Glocks, by the way, sometimes, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't lock back, whatever. H&Ks, I've done that, both the USPs and the VP9s. So here we go.
The consistent factor is you, nutnfancy.
Roger that. It is my fault. I take all credit and blame for that. This has a cold hammer forged barrel. This one is 4 inches long. If you go with the F, of course, it is much longer. Actually, it's only 4.5, I think. Talked about the serrations. Awesome. One thing I noticed, though, in cleaning this gun is I was putting it back together, and I flipped like the lever down there, and it went back together, kind of cockywampus.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I've never seen that with a Glock, and it was really locked up, wasn't it?
That is actually a special secret feature of the CZ. They call it puzzle mode.
I don't know what happened. I fooled around with it and did the takedown lever here, and it went back together, but it was strange. I don't know what the deal was, man. The magazines are still awesome. Okay, and this one has the extended base plate on it. And I talked about magazine compatibility in the first review. It's probably changed since then. One thing we're getting back to whether you go Glock or CZ P10 series, or P07 for that matter, is systems. What have you chosen?
Yeah.
So for us being reviewers, it's weird. We have to have a lot of magazine systems, a lot of calibers, and to be totally honest with you, it is I was looking for ass pain.
Yeah, it is a tremendous ass pain.
It is. It's so bad. But it is the nature of the business. And now if we get a P10C, we're going to have more magazines that are not interchangeable with anything else that we have in inventory. Maybe you do. Accessory rail still here, of course. And then we have a nitride finish on it. I actually really like this pistol. Once I get an Apex on this, if I were to buy this version, I'd really be stoked with it.
Yeah.
I want a P10 mostly to have it in stock because it's such a good alternative to a lot of the guns we're talking about, whether I'm talking about a Glock, any medium size. It's not a compact gun. They call it compact. It's not. Go watch my video in 2001. Compact it ain't. It wasn't 2001. It was like 2009, whatever.
It was a little bit late.
Yeah. But go watch that, and it's the same philosophy. But it's a good cast member, and it's a great option. Show them the targets, too. Where are the targets? This is our
one here.
So shooting this gun, is this you or me?
Not me.
Okay, this is me, and 15 yards standing. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you don't think that's hard, go trying it. And I don't see anybody at the pistol range doing that. I mean, everybody we saw shooting pistols, it was actually today shooting at about 5 yards. So that's really good. For a Glock 19 sized pistol, I'll take it. And then here's a 3rd gen G17. I don't know why I have this. Oh, dude, this is the Zev one that we tested. Freaking hey, that's good. This is 15 yards standing. Look at the Glock. This is operational in the desert, and TD was with me. Look at those groups. So it's actually much better than the P10C, and this is in a cold desert. This is in January 2017. Look at the Glock 17. Don't misconstrue anything I'm saying here to say that we don't still love Glocks. I mean, they're a standard measure. They always will be. Here's Tactical Doodle at 7 yards with a P10.
Pretend it's 15, and I'm actually shooting a lot better than you. How does that look?
I think the P10, though, actually-wise, is phenomenal. I think you can get a lot done with it. It is a fantastic gun. Is it more accurate for me than a Glock? No. As accurate, I think, even though this paper I'm showing you right here, do I have any more or no? Oh, there's one. Here's 7 yards, P10. See? It's about as accurate. I don't know if this was my best day, to be honest with you. I mean, this is 7 yards. They should all be, for me, in the gray, and I didn't. I had some flyers here. So I actually rolled it, and I thought it was better than it was. A Glock 19, if I'm doing that, I can get pretty much all in the gray, especially if I upgrade it to high knee straight 8 sights. Don't get me wrong, though. I love the P10C. I think the upgrades they've done have fixed the teething problems it experienced early on. The magazine is fixed. The striker rotation problem is fixed. The sights are still phenomenal. They have a longer sight radius than a Glock 19. I forgot to say that. They're 3-dot tritium that come with the gun. You can swap them out. I think Dawson makes a sight set for it if you want to. At this point, it's a very popular and successful gun. It's going to continue to sell well. So to answer the question, would I buy a P10C now, 2 years after my initial review? Megaphone.
Absolutely, I would.
It's a great gun. How about you, TD? Would you?
So in my position where I don't have that big of a system, I'm locked into Glock already.
Okay.
It's so hard to beat the possibilities that you gain with building your system around Glock mags. And I just don't want I'm not enough of an enthusiast for the P10. I don't really want it enough to warrant setting up a whole new system, getting the mags, getting the holsters. You know, Striker Fire 9, it's cool. It's a great pistol. If you want a good shooter, then yeah, I would probably pick it over a Glock if I had to start everything from scratch.
Like I said earlier in the video, I mean, if you said, hey, which one do you want? Which one do you want? You know, if you were really to press me, I'd probably still go with Glock, but by a very small margin. A lot of guys will like the larger trigger guard, the more undercut, the grip angle. That's a much different, and a lot of people think better grip angle on the P10 versus the Glock series. But I'll tell you what, we shoot Glocks well, and they last forever, and man, you ain't going to beat their track record. It ain't going to happen. They've got decades upon decades of, user experience over whatever comes out. But I love the P10. I'm actually going to see if I can buy this one. I like it so much.
If I had to just pick one or the other, I'd probably pick the P10 as far as
if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
And by the way, what he said about modularity, Tactical Doodle, is it goes in, let's say you go with a 9. You got Glock 26 compatibility. I'm talking about the longer magazines. Glock 19, Glock 17, Glock 34, plus a lot of pistol caliber carbines with one magazine system. You're not going to get that with a P10C.
Yeah, sub 2000, you have ARs and 33 round mags.
You
may not use them, you may not even want them, but the fact that they exist and they're there and they're pretty freaking affordable.
Pretty freaking affordable.
It's hard to beat. Real hard.
Hard to beat. This concludes our
Bunker update on the CZ P10C. Thanks for tuning in. I'm done.
Day 2 of running the CZ P10C out in the desert, Tactical Doodle. And what do you know? He actually loves it now.
Really? I liked it before, but
shooting it operationally is different is what you're saying.
yeah.
It's more engaging, quicker for you.
Yeah.
You're shredding with it right now.
A lot more fun.
All right, here we go. 2 more mags, about 500 rounds through this CZ P10C. Go for it, bro. Tactical Doodle. Nice. Quick pairs. It's a great gun. Great gun. Highly recommended. Hey, is your glove getting caught still?
Yeah.
Why don't you try my pigs, dude?
Yeah, I can try
Here,
them.
take off that right glove and then put this pig on and just see if that one's still getting clogged up on you. Here, I'll hold the gun. Raw infield shooting video of the P10C. Woo! What a great gun. I love that color too.
Yeah.
That color is outstanding.
Handle's great.
You're hitting really well with it though, even with the glove. So
yeah.
Just see if that glove's better. Temperature is 25 degrees, by the way, 25.
I did it with that one too. I think I'm just riding it high.
What, you're riding the trigger high?
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably, yeah. Work on your technique then. Keep that index finger tight. This is a really good range to train at. It's probably a little bit long for realistic, you know, purposes, but we like this range. So he's shooting about 15 yards on that one plate. Left target, left target, left target. Woo! All right, brother, you got to update our bunker review. What do you have to say about it now?
I liked it before. I like it even more now.
I thought you were like medium enthusiasm on it though.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly just because if I were looking to buy it,
yeah,
it's a whole different mag system and stuff.
All that still plays, but I'm talking about the actual, you know.
Oh, it shoots great.
Gun itself and how it shoots. Awesome. P10C in the desert with Tactical Doodle. And that glove was doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just me.
It is just you. All right, I love the gun. Signing off. Nut Fancy Project. Operational. Cold Desert. Standard. Nice.